Hi guys, it's Angela from Cali Mom Collects, and today I'm going to be doing my first What Sold video. Today's video is going to be my sales for the month of May, year 2020. I wanted to give you guys an idea of some of the things that I sell. Like I've said before, I will sell a little bit of anything and everything. I just go out and I look to find items that I know I can make a profit off of. And sometimes I find new things and sometimes I source the same things. But this will give you guys an idea of what I do. But first, before we go into this last month's sales, I had a giveaway last video and I wanted to announce the winners of that. We have Helen Cage. You are going to be receiving this $ necklace. And at first I thought she was teasing, but she does have something that she is making and would like to use that for. So you will be receiving that very soon. And Susan Wilhelm, you will be receiving this blue rhinestone necklace. So I hope you guys love them. Thank you for watching, and I really enjoyed doing the giveaway. I'll be doing that again. I like the interaction with you guys. I like hearing what you guys like, and I love the thought of giving a little something back to you guys. Okay, I'm going to first start with my jewelry sales for those of you who are interested in only jewelry. First, I sold a pair of butterfly earrings. I sold these for $19.99 plus shipping. They came out of one of my large jewelry bag hauls, and in those large lots, I pay $1 or less per piece, so this was a great profit, at least $19 profit, and yes, I'm super excited about this. Next, we have these awesome vintage roulette wheel cufflinks. I loved these. These were so neat. I've never seen anything like this before. I started this listing at $29.99, and then when I saw that I had quite a few people watching it, I sent out an offer for $25, and instantly somebody took me up on that offer, and those sold for $25. These also came out of one of my large jewelry hauls. I believe these were in the first video. So I again paid less than $1, sold them for $25. Great profit. I loved these. So yeah. Okay, next we have this lot of 10 fashion rings. These rings came out of, I think, 2 of my jewelry hauls. They were not precious metal or precious gemstones, so I put them all on auction, started the auction at $9.99. They sold for $12.49. Not super excited about auctions, probably won't do this again, but I didn't want to bother with selling them individually. Okay, this Stella and Dot wrap bracelet also sold. It sold for $9.99, and this one came out of a large jewelry haul as well. This Brighton necklace also sold. This is a cute little charm necklace with an angel and a little wish and a heart. And I'm a huge fan of Brighton jewelry. I sell a lot of Brighton jewelry. Even used, I can sell them for $19.99. That's pretty standard. And this one, I actually found at a thrift store. I paid $2.50. I sold it for $19.99. So the profit is still great, and I'm happy about this sell. Next is this vintage turquoise arrowhead necklace. This necklace came out of my Southwestern lot. If you saw that video, it sold for $34.99 within less than an hour, which made me think that maybe I priced it too low, but that's fine. $34.99. I'm really happy about this sell. this was a really nice piece. Okay, these vintage Trifari clip-on earrings sold in minutes. I was in my office, posted these earrings, and I walked out into the dining area and heard the cha-ching. So again, I was thinking, oh, I listed these too low. They sold for $29.99. They came out of a vintage lot that I'd bought on eBay. The whole lot cost me $46, so this was a great sell. All right, my last jewelry sale for the month was this Brighton necklace. It had a leather cord and a pretty little pendant. It also sold for $19.99 and came out of a large lot, so I paid less than $1 for this necklace. Sold for $19.99. Happy. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my hard goods and collectible sales now. This coffee mug I actually picked up at a garage sale. I only paid 50 cents for it. I bought 2 of them. The other one is still listed. It sold for $18.99. It was very mid-century modern. I liked the look of them. They had a marking on the bottom that said Purdy, P-U-R-D-Y. And they sat for a little bit, but I didn't pay much for it. I don't mind when things sit for a while as long as I didn't pay much for them. So still happy about this sale. This vintage cast aluminum roasting pan was something that I picked up at a local Goodwill. I bought it for $5. I brought it home, set it aside, and didn't get around to listing it for quite a while. When I did list it, it sold pretty quick. It sold for $49.99. So that was a great profit. I should have listed it a lot sooner, but I really liked this piece. Next, we have these vintage coffee mugs. I actually picked them up at a garage sale for 50 cents. I bought 2 of them. They both sold. This one sold for $13.99. They sat for a while, so I was happy that they finally sold. Here's the other one that sold. It went to the same buyer, and they both had different scenes. Once again, paid 50 cents. This one sold for $12.99. I don't know why I marked this one down and not the other, but they both sold, so I was happy. Okay, we have a computer gaming video card. This sold for $296. This was my son's, and we had it bought it for him, and he didn't need it anymore. So sold within an hour for $296. There is a huge market for computer parts, especially computer gaming parts. I just don't know much about it, so I don't sell much. My son is the expert in this, and we just happen to have it from him. Okay, these are vintage Rogers Stanley salad forks. I was at a Goodwill and I saw this bag of silverware. I could tell that they were vintage. The whole bag was $14.99, so I bought them. Then I pieced them out, and I've already sold the dinner forks for $27.99, the spoons for $19.99, and these salad forks I sold for $25.99. So I've done really well on this vintage bag of silverware. Here we have a hand-stitched, handmade vintage baby quilt. I picked this up with another one at a garage sale. I paid $5 each. The first one sold right away. It was a Disney theme, and I sold that one for $50. This one sat quite a bit longer, but I eventually sold this one for $30. So paid $5, sat quite a while, sold it for $30. I was happy to finally sell it. I picked up this cute little cactus canister at the local Goodwill. I paid $6 for it and it sold for $48.99. I almost didn't sell this one because I loved it so much. I love succulents and flowering cactuses, and this was hard to part with, but I did, and I made a good profit off of it, so I'm happy. Here I have a small lot of vintage dollhouse miniature items. I was at a garage sale and I saw a box filled with these. The box was only $5, so I brought them home, did like a little trial sale where I put these pieces together. These sat for a while, but they did sell for $15.99, so I've already made profit on the box, and I need to go ahead and list the rest of the items in that box. I don't know why, but I haven't yet, so I need to do that. This is a vintage straw dispenser. The brand is Trex, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's TRAEX. And I paid $2 for this at a local thrift store. I believe it was Father Joe's thrift store. And it sold for $29.99. Next, I have a Pampered Chef barbecue grill basket that I picked up at Goodwill for $2, and this sold for $19.99. These are a set of vintage micro machine trains. I was at the Goodwill and there was a bag filled with Hot Wheels cars and a bunch of these micro machines, and when I got home I separated them and put them into lots, and the micro machines have sold well. This lot I started at 15 and sent an offer for 10 and they accepted, and I've made great profit off of this bag of micro machines. So definitely, if you see those while you're out, pick them up. They are vintage and they are collectible. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the clothing and shoe items that sold for me last month. These are Zoot women's running shoes. I paid $12 for them at a thrift store, and these are another thing that I brought home, put it aside, forgot about it for a while, and finally got around to listing them. Listed it for $34.99 and they sold pretty quickly. Clothing and shoes are not my favorite thing to sell. They require a little bit more work. The shoes you have to clean and can be a pain in the neck. And the clothing you have to measure, and it all requires a little bit of work, so it's not as quick as a flip as like jewelry and the hard goods. But they are good sellers, and that is why if I can come across something that's nice, I will pick it up and sell. Here is a Tommy Hilfiger two-piece swimsuit I picked up at the Goodwill for $4 and sold for $19.99. And it didn't take very long to sell, so I'm happy about this one. Next, I have a Patagonia women's long sleeve button-up shirt. Now, here is an example of something that I probably won't be trying to source much anymore. I picked this up at the Goodwill for $8. This sat for a very long time. The market is just too saturated with these type of shirts. It finally sold for only $12.99, so I didn't make much profit. It sat for a very long time, but I think it's important for everyone to see that it's not always a good buy. So unless I can find these shirts at garage sales for super cheap, less than $1, I'm not going to be sourcing Patagonia, North Face, items like that. There's just too much of them in the market, and they are not good flips for me right now. This is my opinion and my experience. It might be different for others, but this is for me. I picked up this Harley Davidson windbreaker at a garage sale for only $1, and it sold for $39.99. So even though it sat for a few months, it was a good flip, and I would definitely source something like this again. I picked these Stuart Weitzman wedge sandals up at a rummage sale, and I only paid $2 for them, and I sold them for $29.99. And this was a quick flip. It was probably listed for only a week. So I've sold Stuart Weitzman before, and they are a good brand, a sought after brand, and definitely keep your eyes open for Stuart Weitzman. Okay, back to sourcing from home. These were mine. They were too small, unfortunately, and they were just sitting around for a while, so I posted them for $27.99 and they sold. They are Miss Me bootcut jeans, and they are a pretty pricey pair of jeans, and so I was happy to be able to sell them for $27.99 since they didn't fit me anymore. Here we have a Princess Polly white jean jacket that sold for $15, and this was my daughter's. So this is another source from home item. Next is a pair of Lululemon plum colored cropped joggers. I paid $18 for these at the Goodwill, and they sat for a long time and eventually sent an offer, and they sold for $35. Lululemon is another brand that, unless I can pick them up at a garage sale or something like that for really cheap, I'm not going to be sourcing much of, because at the Goodwills and the thrift stores, you have to pay quite a bit for them, and they just aren't selling like they used to sell for, and as much profit as they used to sell for. So I'm happy to finally get rid of these because they sat for a while. Okay, these are 3 pairs of boys' swim trunks that were my son's, and I sold them for $19.99 for all 3. They were 2 pairs of Vans and 1 pair that came from Tilly's, and they were still in really good condition. They just didn't fit him anymore. They were from last season. So happy to sell them online for $19.99. These are a pair of New Balance women's sneakers I picked up at a Goodwill for $12. They sat for quite a while and only ended up selling for $22.99. So that is not a big enough profit for me to try and source these type of shoes again. With reselling, you live and learn, and you learn by trial and error, and some things work and some things don't, and for me, these just didn't. Okay, now here is an example of a pair of shoes that I will definitely be keeping my eyes open for. The brand is House or Tows or Toes. It's Taos. And I picked these up for $8 at a Goodwill, and they sold within a day or two for $39.99. So definitely a good profit, quick flip, and I will definitely be picking these up again if I come across them. Here's another brand to keep your eye open for. The brand is RALEIGH, RALEIGH. These are men's pants. I grabbed 4 of these at a Goodwill. I paid $9 a piece for them, and I sold all 4 of them. These were actually the last to sell, and these sold for the least. I only got $49.99 for these. The others I got $80 a piece for. So they are a high-end brand for men's jeans and pants, and I think these ones sold for less than the others because they were more of a slacks and the others were more of a denim style pants. So definitely keep your eye open for RALEIGH denim pants. Last but not least, we have these polka dot rain boots that I picked up at a garage sale for $10 because I thought that they were cute and I thought that maybe I would wear them, but they sat and I never wore them, and so I listed them for $23.99 and they sold. That is most of my sales. I didn't post all of them because I didn't want this video to get too long. I think maybe next time I'll try to do my what sold videos every 2 weeks instead of just one for the month. I'm still figuring things out, and hopefully some of this information is helpful for you guys. And until next time, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Goodbye.